Can you imagine building something so massive that people said it would never fly? Picture this. Engineers sketching designs for an aircraft twice the size of anything that had ever taken to the skies. While skeptics whispered it was impossible, yet, against all odds, that dream became the Boeing 747, an engineering marvel that would transform global aviation forever. Over the past 5 decades, this magnificent giant has carried more than 3.5 billion passengers across continents and oceans. Today, we're diving deep into the extraordinary story of how one audacious vision created the Queen of the Skies. Before we take off on this journey, make sure to subscribe to Orphiq and hit that notification bell so you never miss our fascinating explorations of innovation and history. The story begins in the vibrant 1960s, when air travel was rapidly expanding and airlines desperately needed larger aircraft. Pan American World Airways approached Boeing with an ambitious request: create a plane double the size of the popular 707 jetliner. What followed was a legendary handshake deal between Pan Am's visionary CEO Juan Trippe and Boeing's Bill Allen, where Trippe promised to buy the plane if Boeing would build it. This simple agreement sparked one of aviation's most daring ventures. Boeing committed billions of dollars to develop what many considered an impossible aircraft, literally betting the entire company on this revolutionary design. The initial concept called for a complete double-decker configuration, but safety concerns about evacuating 500 passengers quickly sent engineers back to their drawing boards. Their brilliant solution: create the world's first wide-body aircraft with twin aisles stretching 20 feet across. Designing the 747 presented challenges that pushed the boundaries of existing technology and infrastructure. The massive aircraft required revolutionary high-bypass turbofan engines, dramatically more efficient than previous jet engines, to achieve the thrust needed for such enormous weight. Boeing positioned the cockpit above the main fuselage to allow the nose to open forward for cargo loading, creating the iconic hump that would become the plane's signature feature. The engineering team, led by the legendary Joe Suter and nicknamed the Incredibles, accomplished the seemingly impossible in just 29 months. They designed 18 wheels for the landing gear to distribute the aircraft's nearly 1 million pound takeoff weight across existing runways. Airports worldwide scrambled to adapt, widening runways and taxiways, building new terminals, and installing upgraded baggage systems. Boeing even constructed the world's largest building by volume in Everett, Washington, to house the 747's assembling. The financial stakes were astronomical and genuinely terrifying for Boeing, developing T-747 while simultaneously working on the supersonic transport project, and the new 737 created crushing financial pressure that threatened the company's very existence. Skeptics openly declared that the aircraft would never achieve flight, while financial analysts predicted Boeing would collapse under the project's weight. The company constantly negotiated with creditors just to keep operations running. Yet Boeing persevered through the uncertainty and risk. When the first 747 rolled out of the factory, it became a spectacular global event, with flight attendants from every airline that had placed orders gathering to celebrate. Pan American Airways operated the inaugural commercial flight in January 1970, and when it landed in London, massive crowds of spectators greeted this technological wonder with awe. The public's fascination was immediate and overwhelming, as people marveled that something so colossal could actually soar through the sky. The 747 fundamentally revolutionized how people experienced long-distance air travel. With capacity for over 450 passengers, it dramatically reduced ticket prices and made international flights accessible to millions who previously could only dream of overseas travel. The aircraft introduced innovations that we now take for granted, including twin aisles and overhead storage bins. While its sheer size initially bewildered flight crews accustomed to much smaller planes, early 747 flights offered unprecedented luxury that seems almost unimaginable today. Airlines transformed the upper deck into elegant lounges for first-class passengers, complete with crystal vases holding fresh flowers, carefully paired wines for each course, and even piano bars in some configurations. Pilots adored flying the aircraft for its remarkable stability and smooth landing characteristics, making it the beloved favorite among aviators. This combination of capacity, comfort, and capability earned the 747 its royal title, Queen of the Skies. Over 55 years of production, Boeing manufactured 1,574 aircraft for more than 100 customers worldwide. The 747 evolved through multiple variants, with the 747-400 becoming the best-selling version thanks to its improved fuel efficiency, extended range, and modernized cockpit technology. Beyond commercial aviation, the aircraft served remarkable roles, including presidential transport as Air Force One, and even carrying space shuttles for NASA. The plane's safety record proved exceptional, though it witnessed tragic moments, including the Pan Am 103 bombing and TWA Flight 800 disaster. However, its robust design with 4 engines provided extraordinary redundancy, allowing it to continue flying even on a single engine in emergencies. Airlines operated the 747 globally, connecting major world capitals and transforming these cities into international aviation hubs. The aircraft didn't just serve routes, it legitimized airlines and destinations, becoming a symbol of prestige and connectivity. Despite its legendary status, economic forces gradually eroded the 747's dominance in commercial aviation. The rise of highly efficient twin-engine aircraft like the Boeing 787, Dreamliner, and Airbus, the 350 offered airlines dramatically lower operating costs, with over 30% fuel savings. Modern passengers increasingly preferred direct point-to-point flights over the traditional Hubans model that made the 747 economically viable for massive passenger volumes. Airlines, especially following the pandemic, prioritized maximum efficiency and cost reduction, making 4-engine jets increasingly impractical. By 2022, the 747 represented just 2% of the global passenger wide-body fleet, down from 28% in 1990. Even Airbus's attempt to capture the super jumbo market with its A380 double-decker pilot ending production in 2021. Boeing delivered its final passenger 747 to Korean Air in 2017, and all United States carriers retired their fleets that same year, marking the end of an era. In early 2023, Atlas Air received the very last 747 ever built, aircraft number 1574, ending production after more than half a century. While passenger operations have largely concluded, nearly 400 747s continue flying worldwide, predominantly in cargo service where the aircraft's massive capacity remains valuable. The plane's emotional connection with people transcends mere transportation. It represents human ambition and the audacity to achieve what others deemed impossible. Museums around the globe now display retired 747s, with some transformed into hotels and attractions, preserving the Queen's legacy for future generations. Captain Lynn Ripplemeyer, the first woman to pilot and captain a 747 across the Atlantic, beautifully captured the aircraft's essence. It inspires us that we can accomplish amazing things. The 747 reminds humanity of our capacity for innovation, courage, and the relentless pursuit of dreams that seem to defy possibility itself. The Boeing 747's story teaches us that the greatest achievements often begin with someone brave enough to imagine the impossible. From that legendary handshake between 2 visionaries to the final aircraft rolling off the assembly line, the 747 carried billions of passengers, transformed global connectivity, and captured hearts worldwide. Its legacy extends far beyond aviation statistics. It stands as a monument to human ingenuity and the courage to take extraordinary risks. What memories do you have of the 747? Perhaps you flew on one, watched it take off from an airport, or simply admired its majestic presence in the sky. Share your experiences and thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your personal connection to the Queen of the Skies. If you enjoyed this exploration of aviation history, subscribe to Orphiq for more fascinating stories about innovation, engineering marvels, and the remarkable people who changed our world. Like this video, hit the notification bell, and join us on our next adventure into the extraordinary.